I've just said, is 20 Paisley Avenue here in Boronia. The goods and chattels included in today's sale are all fixtures and fittings of a permanent nature as inspected. We are selling by public auction, whereby unless you have a previously arranged agreement with the vendors, a 10% deposit is required at the fall of the hammer, and the vendors are very happy to settle the property any time, no shorter than 30 days, no longer than 60 days, or any day in between at the preference of the highest accepted bidder. So you can buy the property today, come and sign a contract, and you can get to choose your perfect date any time between 30 and 60 days. Now, just a little bit of housekeeping on deposits. With modern technology, we are more than happy to take a $5,000 transfer into our trust account today with the balance of deposit monies on Monday if you do need to shuffle some money around in any account. So bear that in mind when you're coming inside to sign the contracts in a short while's time. Now, the rules of this afternoon's auction are in accordance with the REIV and the Law Institute of Victoria, of which iTRAK are members, and they are as follows. Subject to the vendor's reserve price, the highest bid whose bid is accepted by the vendor shall be the purchaser. I, as the auctioneer, will determine the minimum which the bidding shall be advanced, and no bid once made shall be retracted. If any dispute arises concerning the bidding, I, as the auctioneer, will determine the dispute or resubmit the property to you all at its last undisputed bid. Vendor always reserves the right to bid once or more by their auctioneer, and I'll explain a little bit more about that in a minute. Refuse any bid or to withdraw the property at any time without necessarily declaring the reserve price, even though that is pretty irrelevant because we've declared the reserve price pretty openly for the last couple of weeks. The law prohibits the making of false bids, and it does provide major fines for anyone attempting to prevent others from bidding. I've never ever had a problem at any auction I've conducted, and certainly don't expect there to be a problem this afternoon. The words I'll make during the auction to indicate I'm making a vendor bid, should that be necessary, which is highly unlikely, will be clearly vendor bid with a nominated figure and ask for your continued bidding from that moment in time. And obviously the reason I'm saying that is highly unlikely is that with our reserve price, the highest bidder will have the first right to negotiate with the vendor should we not quite reach the reserve price. So please bear that in mind. If we don't quite hit the reserve price, make sure your name is in front, because you will have the exclusive opportunity, excluding all other parties, to be the first person to negotiate with the vendor. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's highly unlikely I will be taking a vendor bid. I don't see it necessary at all today. We definitely have interest, so we will be assuming that we'll either be selling the property under the hammer or negotiating with the highest bidder, who will have the first right to do any negotiations with our vendor from that moment in time. And one final rule, ladies and gentlemen, in the state of Victoria, it is illegal for me to accept a late bid. So if the contractors hit my hand like so on a first, second and third call, the property will deem to be sold. It is illegal from that moment in time for me to entertain any late bid once that process has taken place. So, ladies and gentlemen, I assume that you've all had the last couple of weeks to think about what your choices are today. So if I've got to the second call and you haven't bid, I will assume that you have no interest in the property. Please don't leave the moment too late. I don't want to be in a situation where you have to say, I'm so sorry, we can't accept your bid. So please take that in mind. I've never had the problem. I've been close once or twice, but I've never had to say those words, I'm sorry, I can't accept your bid under those circumstances. So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the rules of the auction today. What have we got behind us? Well, we've got the perfect downsizers home, haven't we? So for anyone who's been living on 800 to 1200 square metres of land that really doesn't enjoy the full weekends that they need to be in the garden these days because they'd rather spend the time with the grandkids, if you're looking for a low maintenance opportunity and still have access to everything that Boronia's got to offer, then this certainly is a fantastic property for you. It's got a new oven, dishwasher, great bench space. It's got a full ensuite. So for the downsizer, ladies and gentlemen, obviously it hasn't got a double story, which is what all the downsizers are hoping for. So obviously for a downsizer, it is a magnificent opportunity, and obviously it's got the little garden if you want to do some tinkering as well. To the first home buyers, what a great opportunity to get your foot into the market, get some equity behind you over the next few years, and then plan that 20 to 25 year house that you're going to be living in once you maybe start a family, have some kids in 5 or 6 years' time. It is a great stepping stone for any first home buyer here today. So ladies and gentlemen, I won't hold you up all day. The way in which we'll be selling the property is on a first, second and third call. When the contract hits my hand, the property is always deemed to be sold. So without any further to do, I wish you all the very best. It is a great opportunity today, ladies and gentlemen. The person that buys the home today will look back in a few years' time and be so glad that they made the decision to buy in Paisley Avenue, Boronia. So ladies and gentlemen, in your hands, anywhere at all, an opening bid. Anywhere at all. $500,000. Welcome to the bidding to sir. Welcome to the bidding to you, sir. Number 5, and all the very best to you this afternoon. At $500,000, I'll ask for a rise of 20. At $500,000, clearly bid we've got. At $500,000, where do I? $500,000 could be a very quick auction. First call at $500,000. Thank you, sir. Welcome to you. Number 3, welcome to you, sir, and all the very best to you as well. At $520,000. Can we stay in 20s and go to 40, sir? At $520, clearly bid I've got. At $520,000, clearly bid in the front. At $500,000, $520. First call at $520. Second call. Welcome to new bidding here. I saw this one first at $540,000. Can I say 60 now, sir? At $540, clearly bid we've got, or maybe here at 60. A nod's all I need now if you like. At $540,000, clearly bid at 60 now. Thank you and welcome back to you, sir. At $560,000, we'll stay in 20s if we can. At $560,000. First call at $560. Second call, 500, and that's $580 now. Thank you, sir. Welcome to the bidding and all the very best to you. At $580,000, we're very close to being on the market. At $580,000, can I say 6, sir? At $580,000, I think we'll get there. At $580,000, first call, $580. Second call, $580. Third, is that 6 now, ma'am? Thank you very much. Number 4 at 6, and clearly, ladies and gentlemen, we're now on the market. At $600,000, those sold signs going on today. At $600,000, we're playing for keeps. At $600,000, what do we say, ladies and gentlemen? At $600,000, can I say 620? Anybody? At $600,000. You'll add a lower bid if you'd like. At $600,000, can I say 10, sir? At $600,000, first call at $600,000. Is that 10? Thank you. Welcome back to the bidding at 610. Shall I say 20? At 610, clearly bid we've got. At 610, we've got clearly bid. You didn't come for one bid, surely. At $610,000. At $610,000, how are we going there? First call at 610. Second call. That's 20 now. Thank you very much and welcome back. Can I say 30, sir? At 20, clearly bid now. Can I say 30? I don't think you'll regret it. At 620,000, clearly bid. How about 20? How about at 620 we've got. I'll take you 5. Thank you very much, and offer the same courtesy to everyone else now. At 625,000, clearly bid now. At 625, what do you say, ma'am? Take me to 30. At 625, take me to 30. I think we'll get there. At 625, once. At 625, twice. Thank you. Welcome back at 630. How about 35, sir? At 630 now, we're clearly bid. At 630 now. Take a lower than 5 if you want to give it to me. 2.5. 1. Definitely out. Thank you very much for your bidding, sir. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the very best. At $630,000, we're now at the pointy end. At $630,000. Be very clear on this, ladies and gentlemen. Make no mistake, we're selling. At $630,000. If you're genuinely keen to buy, now's the time to do it. No guarantees as to how many other houses like this are coming on the market in the next few months. At $630,000, I'll take a 1 if it helps. Definitely out, sir? Definitely. You're not sure? You're definitely out? Definitely out, sir. Thank you very much for your bidding. Definitely out, sir. Well, I think we've exhausted the process. At $630,000, I will call it 3 times. Make no mistake, no late bidding. First call, $630,000. Second call, $630,000. We are selling. We're sold. Congratulations, folks. Welcome to the neighbourhood. Thank you very much for attending another successful iTRAK real estate auction. Have a wonderful weekend and good luck with your house hunting, everybody. Take care.